My name is Daniel. I'm one of the graduates this year, and I will be Reverend Newsom for the next 30 minutes. My talk today was inspired by Rally and and the kindness lessons that you learn while you're there. I said, hey, you guys want to go out and get some breakfast? So my other teammates said, yeah, but I didn't want to go, not because I don't enjoy their company and all, but I didn't want to pay for it. But something in my mind, my gut told me, just go. So I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'll go. We were seated in a booth, and in front of us was this married couple with a baby. And the whole time we were there, the baby just kept staring at us. And we just started playing with it. We started smiling with it, playing with it, making it do, playing peekaboo with it, all the kind of stuff you do with a baby. And um, it made the parents and the family seem really happy. So they left eventually. I ordered the cheapest thing on the menu, and then we finished. We asked for the bill, and the waiter that came to us was actually a friend of the coaches who coaches track. And he came up to us, and I was like, oh boy, here we go. And he came and said, he handed us the receipt saying, your food has already been paid for. And I was like, what? I was shocked. And at first I thought it was the waiter who paid for our food because she's friends with the coach. But then another waitress came by and said, actually, no, the family whose baby you were playing with paid for your food. It made my day, and it made me experience the joy that I only remember at least feeling at Rally. And it was at that moment that I realized two things. One is that the true meaning and impact of what the idea of pay it forward can have on a person, but also that I had known the meaning of it for a long time now. And, even though you don't realize it, you probably do it a lot more than you think. So I started looking for more examples, and I didn't have to look very far. I found one here in the church, which is the prayer chaplains. And if you guys might be familiar with it, the prayer chaplains are really big on this idea of holding sacred space. So that sacred space is more of a mindset that they're in, because it's where they're themselves, but they're not themselves. Because we as people judge, and it's not a bad thing, it's an instinct. You can't help but judge someone when you meet them. But they don't really do that. It's like they jump out of themselves, but they're still them, and they listen, and they don't give advice. Thanks a lot for the clarification. I said that last service, and I feel real bad. But they don't give advice. They just sit there, pray with you, and release. And I realize that that's the mindset that you have to have. Or not, you don't have to have it, but most of the time when you pay it forward, that's the mindset that you have. We're all standing in a sacred space right now. This whole planet that we call Earth is a sacred space. And it's, the home of so many... It's our home, and it's home to so many more people and creatures and beings. And that was probably one of the things that made me want to join the Navy, which is the idea of protecting and serving this sacred space that I have, has taken me in and nurtured me and done so much for me. So I figured I, joined the Navy so I could protect and so that more people can have this experience that I had. I've already learned one of the biggest lessons that I have learned so far in my life, which is, so once you enlist, the recruiter makes you go to the office every 2 weeks to fill out a form saying that we're okay and we haven't done anything that Reverend Newsom wouldn't do. A few weeks ago, after filling out the form and getting weighed in and measured and everything, we did a physical fitness test, and it was just kind of like the angel wash. We were all lined up like that, except not nearly as good an experience. But we were all lined up doing stuff, and I'm in pretty good shape right now, so it wasn't really that hard for me, but for everybody else in the line it was. And it was at that moment that I realized that it's not just about me anymore. You know, it's not good enough just for me to pass. Everybody else has to pass too. And it was there that I had the spiritual awakening, I guess, of I truly understood what you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I truly realized what that actually means. And, you know, I realized that since I'm strong enough physically to get through it, it's my job it now falls on me to get everybody else to get to where they need to be. You know, it doesn't end with just you being there. Or it doesn't end when you can do it. It ends when you can get everybody else to do it. And since you are strong enough to carry yourself, now you got to carry someone else or everybody else. And you know, with the things like this, I didn't succeed with everybody, but at least I tried, you know. So I realized that even in the military, you pay it forward instead of people giving you compliments and saying I love you, they're threatening to do some rather ungodly things to you so you get to where you need to be. But, you know, tough love. My point is that sometimes something just as simple as a smile or a hug or just some kind words can really make a difference in someone else's day. Because right after my meal got paid for, my whole day just took a whole different turn. He said something that hit me, and I still haven't been able to stop thinking about it, which is what I want to leave you guys with is, you know, imagine you're this big linebacker, and you got this kid with Down syndrome in front of you, and he's telling you that the only disability in life is a bad attitude. You know, coming from him, you can't really say he's wrong. And that's what you know, it's just that's just what I wanted to leave you guys with. You know, the idea of paying it forward with my experience and with mothers. You know, with parents, since today's Mother's Day. In my opinion, the biggest thing you can do to pay it forward is to raise a kid, which is I couldn't imagine. But I'm very thankful for my mother every day for, you know, giving birth to me and getting me through life, and thank you.